You can search high and low, far and wide, but you might be hard-pressed to find somebody who has a bigger piece of Lewes in his heart than our next guest.
Yeah, we'd like to introduce you to author and Lewes native, Dr. James VanSciver. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah.
And let's start off with thanking our veterans for all the wonderful work they do. I think every day should be Veterans Day.
Absolutely. Agree with you 100%.
Sure.
All right. So when we say you have a love for Lewes, we mean it, don't we?
Kind of shows.
Yes, we do. It goes all the way back to 1950 when I was born. I was born at Beebe Hospital, and I was for a long time the biggest baby ever born in Beebe Hospital. Almost weighed 12 pounds. The doctor told my mother she would have twin girls. So, smallest baby she had was 10 and a half. We were big Dutchmen. So that's when I started with Lewes, Delaware.
You have recently published your 6th book.
Yes,
This is
indeed.
it, right?
Yes.
It's called About Lewes. It's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it actually has a double meaning. About Lewes, it tells you all about Lewes. And if you want to take a walk around Lewes and see all the nice attractions and eateries, it's walking around Lewes as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's a double meaning in about.
And
Pretty
it has,
deep, huh?
Yeah, it has
yeah.
wonderful pictures in it, that's
And
for
you know
sure.
where I took those pictures? With my wife's cell phone.
You're kidding me.
Nope, cell phone. And there's one in particular that has a story with it. There's
this
a picture of a lifeguard stand.
This is it, right?
This is it right
Okay.
there.
Let me see if we can get this
I
up
wanted
for
to
you.
get a picture of the sun coming up behind the lifeguard stand.
Right.
So 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm on Lewes Beach, and it's dark as anything, and I see these shadows going by me. I'm thinking, what is that? It was deer. Now, I lived in Lewes my entire life, did not know deer went on Lewes Beach. So there's a story within a story. Yep.
Yeah, and in the book, on the page that picture is on, or on the opposite page, you have, it's a poem.
Yeah, the whole big book is written in poetry. I wanted to add some grace to the pictures and about story. I always thought that Lewes, watching it evolve over my lifetime, has been able to do something very interesting, has been able to have a stimulating yet peaceful atmosphere.
Why is it so charming to you?
Well, I grew up there. I've got lots of links with Lewes. I was a clammer out in Rehoboth Bay back in the 60s, raking them for 1/4 cent a piece, I might add. Yes. But everything about me was from Lewes. Went to Lewes High School, went in the building one end, came out the other as a graduate. I always joked with people that you could live, go to school, and die, be buried in a cemetery, and not live more than a block away. So it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I have friends who come too, and I always tell them, look, if you want to feel like you're a part of Lewes, here's what you have to do. Number one, it's Lewes, not lose. It's crick, not creek.
Yes.
And there you are. Thank you. And you have to know what jeet means. Did you eat? Jeet breakfast?
Jeet?
So if you talk that way, people say, well, when were you born in Beebe Hospital? So there you are.
There you
That
are.
is right. Now,
Yes.
do you have another project on the horizon?
Yeah, my wife says no more books. This is my 6th one. People don't understand, when you write books, it's really fun writing them. That's the easiest part. Then the publishing, then the marketing, and the marketing is really never ending. But this came to me, it was really interesting. My dog Elvis and I were out on the back deck one day, and it was just a beautiful day, and we had like an epiphany. And I just started thinking about poetry. And I thought, geez, poetry is coming into my mind. What can I do with that? And I started thinking about Lewes and everything that Lewes has to offer. There's a lot in Lewes. The eateries, the history, all the other stuff. Lewes in Bloom, by the way, is a great place. A couple of years ago, Lewes, I believe, was named the top most beautiful place in the country. Most recently, the dog park in Lewes, Lewes Unleashed, was named the best dog park in the country.
And I tell you what, we are going to have information on our website about how you can get your hands on this book, and you definitely want to. Lewes author, Dr. James VanSciver. And I just have one more quick question for you.
I have a long answer, though.
My producer may not like that. When Elvis had that epiphany, what happens? Does his tail wag a little faster?
Yeah, and he licks me on the leg a
Okay.
lot.
All right.
That's how you know.
But you can get the book at Just Lewes.
Right.
You can get it at Lewes Gifts. You can get it at Sand and Stones, and at the Lightship Over Falls gift shop.
Yes.
And then on my, I'll have a website for you to get to.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you
Sounds
so
great.
much.
Thank you so
That
much.
is the greatest
So
beginning to
delightful.
a story, though. When me and my dog Elvis were on the back deck, isn't that the greatest beginning to a story?
We had an epiphany.
We had an epiphany.